What's up, you guys? Steven here for Out Shelf Movie Night to talk to you about physical media. Let me get this mic over here about Blu-rays and 4Ks and the way we like to buy and own our movies and TV shows. I'm very excited about this episode, so I want to get into it quick, so I'm just trying to get the spiel out of the way. But if you're a movie collector, you like Blu-rays or any of these type of things, you're in the right spot. If you want to be a collector, I think you're in the right spot too, because I can hopefully help give you some guidance on going through this whole process of collecting movies and talk about the mistakes that I've made and all that stuff. So hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe, do all the things. All right, so on this episode of Tactical Shopping, a series I intend to do more often moving forward, where I'll try and give you my thoughts on reading the tea leaves about when to buy, when not to buy, what not to buy, that kind of thing. Tonight is something special, though. This is the 26th, as I'm recording this, of May, and tonight at 12:01 Eastern Time, 11:01 Central Time for me, the Vinegar Syndrome halfway to Black Friday sale begins. Their website is down, so we can't really see the things that they're going to have on special for us. We know a lot of the things. Anything that was released previous to February of 2022 is going to be half off MSRP, which, as we all know, is not truly half off, but it's a substantial discount. You know, it's the same thing Criterion does. And there will be a new VSA, which I'll talk about in a minute, a couple of new Vinegar Syndrome titles, and a bunch of merchandise. I'm mildly interested in what that VSA could be and the new titles, but even if they're things I don't want, which all signs point to them being action-based titles and not horror, which is fine. I like some of the action stuff too. They have enough in their catalog that I don't yet own that I'll be fine. I'll be able to pick up some stuff. I made pre-orders already. Now, let me talk about that for just a second. They reiterate this over and over again in their emails, but this is my first tactical shopping hint with Vinegar Syndrome, if you haven't seen it. But if you made a pre-order during their flash sale, that obviously we all haven't gotten yet, those don't ship until after this weekend sale is over. If you did that, and you want to buy something this weekend, they have a little checkbox on that purchase, through that purchase process, that says add to my existing order. If you do that, what you buy this weekend will be added to your pre-sale package, and the advantage there is you've already paid for shipping in that previous order. So you don't have to pay for shipping again. They just add stuff to the box and ship it all together. Also, something that I have done, and you may do, is purchase something tonight or in the morning, and then think about it over the weekend and revisit the site on Sunday and decide to order something else. If you do that, use that add to existing orders so you don't get charged twice for shipping and things come in two separate boxes. So if you haven't ordered from Vinegar Syndrome before, they do one thing that I wish more boutique distributors would do, but I kind of understand why they don't, is what they do is show you on each item how many copies of that item still remain. For example, one of the things that I've been watching is Death Wish 2. It's coming out on a wider release, I think, this weekend. And I think it's available through Amazon and that kind of thing this weekend. I want to get Death Wish 2. I'm not sure if I don't remember when it came out. I haven't checked yet, so I don't know if it's on sale or not, but it is on my radar, and I've been watching it, and it still says over 1,000. Now, I like it with that really beautiful slipcover they have, so I'm watching that countdown. Now, what's going to happen is once that number hits 0, however many they have left is going to pop up, but it'll be a standard edition minus slipcover. So you can save some money if you're willing to not have the slipcovers. But that said, if it's a movie you really like, Vinegar Syndrome makes some of the best slipcovers out there. Their slipcovers, the quality of them, put anything that Scream Factory does to shame. And outside of hard boxes, their slipcovers are better than Arrow Video slipcovers too. I think the quality is just better. Now, the challenge is it a movie you really like? You know, I have learned a hard lesson with them, and I'm going to tell you right now that lesson is I've got a stack here. I'm going to show you my Vinegar Syndrome releases and tell you what they are, just so maybe they go on your radar. And that's what we're going to do in this episode. We're going to go through my Vinegar Syndrome releases because I don't have many. I've bought a lot from them. I probably actually only still have a third of what I bought from them because I bought a lot of things cold, didn't end up liking them, and had to flip them. Because as you know, if you've been here for a while, if I don't like it, it doesn't stay on the shelf. I need that space. I need every inch of shelf space back here for movies that I like. So, with that said, the movies I do currently have from Vinegar Syndrome are movies that I quite enjoy, and I want to share those with you. I think that's really all the hints that I can give you about them. Some things are going to sell very fast this weekend, and that's where people end up making double orders. Is you look at something right when the sale launches and it says more than 1,000, and you see maybe there's 5,000 copies of it, maybe only 2,000 with the slipcover, and you think about it and think, Sunday, maybe I'd like to actually have that slipcover, and you go back and the number is down to 600 or 500 or 400 or lower. Then that's when you decide, oh, let me just click buy, So always remember to hit that add to previous order button. They want you to do that. They want to consolidate orders and make it easier on their staff, so you save the shipping. All right, so let's go through these. These are in no particular order, by the way. No particular order. So we're going to start with the 1982 movie Raw Force. This movie is ridiculous. Here it is. Raw Force. Let me come back here a little bit. This was a cold buy. I heard great things. And obviously, I think this was in a VSA maybe, or it was definitely in a nice slipcover, but I wasn't willing to take a chance on... I know it's kind of hard to read that. Let's see. I wasn't willing to take a chance on it based off the description for the expensive slip, so I just grabbed this one. And it ends up being a fun movie. I kind of wish I had the nicer slip now because it's fun. So it's the story of a martial arts club going to an island where the legend is that the ghosts of previous martial arts teachers or whatever is there. What they don't know is there's a Hitler lookalike running a sex slavery thing on the island where he's selling women or whatever. So they encounter each other, and that's going to be a big fight, and that's great. But then they also encounter cannibals, zombies, piranhas, like everything. It's ridiculous. It's, the funny thing about the movie is it was from 1982, but it feels like 1972 in its exploitation. It's very, very fun. This is right at the end of sort of the exploitation thing. And, if you see it for a good price, I recommend it. It's just cheesy and fun, okay? So now we're going to talk about something that's less fun, but, it's still fun, but it's not, as funny, let's say it that way. This is The Candy Snatchers from 1973. This is a movie I've had before on DVD and was happy to see that Vinegar Syndrome finally put this out. They have nice bonus features. I am also annoyed. This is a movie I knew I liked when I bought it, and I'm annoyed that I didn't get the slip. So The Candy Snatchers tells a story, and these are all reversible artwork too. This is just the artwork that I liked. Candy Snatchers tells the story of some jewel thieves that actually also kidnap a woman and bury her with a pipe coming up out of the ground that gives her air, and then a little kid that kind of discovers her and what happens there. It's campy in that 70s exploitation kind of way. It's fun and fun, but not funny fun. It's just fun exploitation movie. I recommend. And they have a nice presentation of it here. Now, this next movie is something that when I saw this come up on their site, I really couldn't believe it. I was shocked because it doesn't feel like something that belongs to Vinegar Syndrome. Vinegar Syndrome does, exploitation movies, like Grindhouse movies, a lot of bad movies, a lot of B and C, well, not even B, like C and D movies and that kind of thing. But they've upped their game over the last few years, and they'll, spice it up with a really great movie once in a while. And that movie here is Patty Hearst. And I actually did try to get this one with the slip, but I made the mistake of waiting too long on that order and didn't get it. So, it's a game. If you want something with the cool packaging, it's a movie you like and it's worth the cool packaging, you better get it. Again, this is from 1988, and it tells the story of Patty Hearst, who was kidnapped by, criminals and also activist, I guess. But anyway, she fell in with them, and then it became a thing where, was she with them? Was she with them the whole time when she was kidnapped, or did she just fall in with them? Okay, I don't want to say too much more than that. You need to watch it. It has great cast. It has Natasha Richardson. It has William Forsythe. It's a classic. And again, I don't know why they have this movie. It doesn't really fit them, but it's good. They have a good presentation of it too. So recommend it. Next movie is that I have is from 1983, and this one does fit the bill for them. It's Mausoleum. Again. See, I had to learn this lesson the hard way, and this is what I'm telling you. If you like a movie and you want it in the nice packaging with the slip, you need to get it. You don't need to wait too long. And I'm afraid I'm waiting too long on Death Wish, because they then go from 1,000 copies to 0 like that. Because I actually like this movie. But this movie, I was just sort of discovering them when there was a nice version of this. I didn't really know Vinegar Syndrome too well when they put that movie out. So I don't feel too bad about that. So it's a 10-year-old girl mourning the death of her mother becomes possessed by a demon. And this does have reversible artwork in here. That artwork is kind of cool. It's actually also on the disc. It's the original poster. Okay, now we're going to talk about Dario Argento. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I've been collecting the nice reissues of Dario Argento films that come out from Arrow Video. And then most recently, I think it was during the flash sale. No, it was before the flash sale that I got this. It's a movie that I wanted. I wanted the nice packaging, so I had to snap it up immediately. And the annoying part is I think you can still get it with a slipcover now. But it's Dario Argento's 1993 film. I had to look at the date because I couldn't quite remember. I knew it was 90s. Let me bring my camera back up. Trauma. Not trauma like trauma video, trauma. And see, you can see this has the cool slipcover on it. Their slipcovers are very, it's hard to show it there. They're very thick. They're made out of really nice. This one's matte. They're not always, but it's matte. Often they are, though. Matte with some spot UV. This one doesn't have any spot UV, but this is a very, very nice cover. And I'm very happy to have it. I'll show you the reversible artwork, which is the original poster art. There you go. I actually like this slipcover art a lot better than the poster, the original poster. So I'm happy to actually have that. It doesn't necessarily match my Arrow releases, but this is how that movie is released. At least it's the nicest possible way I can get that movie. This movie stars Dario Argento's daughter, Asia. It says a young man basically is trying to help a teenage girl find a serial killer that killed her family before he comes after her. I want to give you a couple other names that are in this other than Asia Argento. Piper Laurie, that's the name I was trying to think of. Christopher Rydell is also in it. It's an underappreciated Argento film. It's not to the level of like Suspiria, of course, but toward the end of his career, and I know he's coming out with a new movie, but I say end of his career because most of the stuff he put out after this movie, I don't really like that much. All right. So now we're going to have another blind buy. Let me get that date. Let me get that year, because, I'll mess it up and somebody's going to call me out. This is 1988's Nightmare Sisters. Now, I ended up with this in the nice slipcover because it just stuck around for a while. This was a cold buy. I didn't know what I was getting into. Let me show you the original artwork, which is very different. Again, a cold buy, but it actually, let's see if I can do that. There we go. It actually went on sale with the slipcover because I guess people weren't aware of it. And I just thought, mainly the reason, honestly, that I grabbed it is because I'm a fan of 1980s Scream Queen Linnea Quigley, and she is in this movie. It's ridiculous. It's sort of titillating. It's right at the end of the sort of 80s craze of horror titillating films. It kind of falls on the same spot as like Witchboard and that kind of thing, except this is much more titillating than even that movie. Basically, it's about three geeky girls. They never look geeky to me. They just put glasses on them and pull their hair back. But there are three geeky girls who can't seem to get dates or whatever, so they hold a seance to try to call for help, and they become sex crazed vamps after that. And that's what's fun about this artwork. See, pre-seance, post-seance. There you go. It's ridiculous, it's silly, it's fun. Now we're going to come to one movie that I have not watched yet. I just got this one recently, and I have kind of failed at watching it, but to cut myself some slack, I did have COVID for a while, and that knocked me out of watching things. I just wasn't in the mood to focus on anything, and then I went out of town. So this will be watched maybe this weekend. It is a movie from 1988, and this was a cold buy. I didn't buy this from Vinegar Syndrome. By the way, I bought this at the convention that I previously posted about a few videos back. It is The American Scream. I don't know. I got suckered because it was discounted, and that is a beautiful cover. Look at that spot UV on that slip. Don't get suckered by slips on movies you think are bad, though. They do nice packaging on these movies, and most of them are bad. Most of them are not good. Now let me show you in here. I love this artwork as well for a horror movie. This is basically a family on a camping vacation that gets attacked by hillbillies. You know, so it is, you know, by that definition, my type of jam. But I'm afraid it's going to be a shot on video thing, and it's going to just look too crappy for me. I'm just not going to be able to get into it. That's what I'm afraid of, and I'm going to have to flip it. But I hope not. Similarly, I took a chance on this next film and was very pleasantly surprised. It's from 1990, and we're talking about the end of sort of slasher horror exploitation thing. 1990 is as much the end as it gets, and this is Blood Games. Again, this movie went on sale. I'd heard great things about it. I watch another channel that I recommend if you want to learn about Vinegar Syndrome is Michael Keane. He had been talking this movie up that he loved it. So I had to give it a go, and it went on sale again, still having the slip, which, believe me, doesn't happen as often as you would think. Very nice, thick slipcover. Here is the original artwork, and I think that says it all. So basically, this is a story of a all-female baseball team that plays a game in a small town and just devastatingly defeats a group of young guys who then want revenge for the humiliation and take out a bounty on them. They basically try to rape them, try to kill them. But these girls are badasses. These boys don't know what they're getting into messing with these girls. So it's really, you know, that could have gone either way. But it's really, really, really fun. I've watched it twice since I bought it, and just really enjoy it. It's actually directed by Tanya Rosenberg, who I don't think did anything else after this one. So, and there's I'm looking to see if there's anybody we would know. There's no one in the cast that means anything. Okay, so I recently did a video on talking a little bit about nunsploitation. I didn't talk too much about it. I did have the Nasty Habits release that I opened and was going to show, but I couldn't because there's so much nudity on the packaging. Well, I mentioned a couple of other nunsploitation releases, and one of them is a Vinegar Syndrome release called Malabimba. This is a movie about a young girl, 16-year-old girl, who gets possessed by a demon, and the nuns and whatever try to help her. Let me just give you the year on that one. That was from 1979. If you're into like subgenre films, light nunsploitation, and I talked a lot about that in my previous video, so if you want to know more, I did warn about this movie, and I'll warn about it again if you choose to pick this up from Vinegar Syndrome. This is an uncut version of this film, and there is explicit sexual activity in this movie. That's just how they do it. Now, the last movie I have is one that, again, was a cold buy, and I'll tell you why I picked it up. and it's the only VSA I have. And I thought this would be a great opportunity if you're new to Vinegar Syndrome to tell you and show you what a VSA is. And I only bought it because it has Lance Henriksen in it. And I'm like, I like Lance Henriksen. He's fun and stuff. I like subgenre films, so let's see. And this is from 1985. It's called Savage Dawn. Now, the thing that VSAs are known for are... Let me bring my screen back up so that I can see what I'm doing here. Are their packaging, because they're usually super limited to maybe 3,000 or 4,000, and that's not 3,000 or 4,000 in nice packaging than a standard release. It's 3,000 or 4,000, period. Then they go back into the archives, and chances are no other distributor is going to pick them up. So if you don't get a VSA when they get announced, and it's a movie you're interested in, it's worth a cold buy, because you won't get it later. They do sell out. People collect these VSAs just to be collecting VSAs. And up to this movie coming out, I didn't really see one that I felt was worth the cold buy. But I'm like, I like subgenre movies, and this is a biker movie. Lance Henriksen plays a biker, ex-military guy heading to a small town to visit his ex-military friend and daughter, and then that guy's daughter, and the town is being ravaged by a motorcycle gang. So it's a little, again, out of its time. This feels like a movie from the 70s, post Easy Rider, and this is still, even again, I think slightly post Billy Jack and those things. So it feels a little out of time. But okay, so here's the VSA. Look at this packaging, you guys. So the other thing that defines these guys is it's a bottom loader. And if you buy one of these cases are really, really tight. So when you go to put the movie back in, let me just tell you now, so I don't, so I can save you the hassle that I have. You can see a slight little bit of damage to the case up here because it's very hard to get them back in. Oh no, here's the damage right there. See that? I need to replace this case, actually. The artwork, I think, is still okay. It, again, comes with reversible artwork, which is cool. But the other thing that they do for their VSA, sorry I leaned back there, is provide a big, I'm not going to unfold it here, but they provide a huge full-size poster, bigger than the ones that Arrow usually provides in their sets. They provide that too. And it's of the main artwork here. So, again, they're very cool. They're super challenging to get back in there. I find that if I just I have to work it slow and then give it a little squeeze, it's like, you know what, I'm not even going to do this on camera. I'm going to deal with that in a minute because it's just, I'm telling you, be very careful. Maybe use a piece of paper or a little tiny slim piece of cardboard to wedge them back in, because this happens with all of their VSAs. If you look at social media, Vinegar Syndrome, conversations, you'll see people talking about it. Anyway, those are my Vinegar Syndrome releases. I like all these movies, like to love, at varying degrees. That said, remember, this is a third of what I've actually purchased from Vinegar Syndrome. Oh, wait. I'm going to do this live. I have one more. I can't believe I didn't pull this out. My last one, and I almost forgot this one. I can't believe it. It's the nicest Vinegar Syndrome that I have. They do have one other movie out right now. I assume it'll be on sale, Six Stream Samurai, in this kind of packaging. I don't like that movie, so I won't be picking it up, but this is the Beastmaster. And look at this box, you guys. This is one of the nicest packages they've ever put out. Even to the point where they, this is a magnetic, and they've actually patented that. So when you open it up, the movie is inside in a really nice slipcover with a book and all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to unpackage this because this has been unpackaged over and over and over again in different places. If you really want me to, hit me in the comments and I'll do a little short video unpackaging it, let you guys see it, just maybe to celebrate the sale. So Six String Samurai is their current one. This is sold out, I believe. You can still buy the movie if you just want this movie, which I recommend. This is a very nice transfer with tons of really good extras, different cuts of the movie, all kinds of stuff. You can get just the movie. Okay, fine. I'm going to take the movie out now because I said you can get just the movie. Not going to take the rest out. I don't know if it has a slip or not, though. I think maybe it's just a standard release now. Such a cool slipcover. Spot UV on it. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. 4K. They do have a few 4Ks. Six String Samurai is the 4K. There. I'll let you see the back with some of the extras if you want to focus in on that. Yeah, they have a few. Six String Samurai, to my knowledge, is the only one that's packaged as nicely as this one. And believe me, I don't understand why, because I do not like that movie. But if you do, that one's been out a while and will probably be on sale this weekend. Other things that I will recommend that I already got during the flash sale, I bought Cloak and Dagger, which is a great 80s movie about, it's kind of that kid getting involved in spy stuff, kind of like thing that was kind of popular for a hot minute in the 80s. This kid plays a video game, which inadvertently gets him involved in a real Cloak and Dagger story. Lots of action. It's fun. Highly recommended. They have a case close to this quality, I think, coming out. It's coming out in that. And then another exploitation movie from the 70s called Thriller, A Cruel Joke, was also called, they call her One Eye. And that one is about a woman who is kidnapped by a pimp, basically, who gets her addicted to drugs and forces her, to be a prostitute. And she secretly trains with a guy who teaches her martial arts and everything, and she, tries to get her revenge. So a fun movie. This was originally out from Elite Disc early in the DVD cycle. Synapse, I think, was going to put out a Blu-ray, but there was some kind of battle about rights, and now we're just getting a really nice release, 4K release from Vinegar Syndrome. Those all be on sale this weekend, but they will not be on sale. They'll be available to order in their limited edition packaging, but they will not be on sale because they came out after February. So, but they're great. Both of them are great movies. I've seen them. They are not cold buys for me, and they will sell out. That limited edition packaging will sell out. So they're worth looking at this weekend. Let me know in the comments if you're shopping Vinegar Syndrome this weekend. Let me know what you're going to get. Or come back here after you shop and hit me in the comments. Let me know what you bought. I'd love to talk about it. I'll do another video talking about what I end up getting too. And let's just talk about physical media and movies and grow this community. Until next we meet. Well, wait, before I wrap this up. Boy, I'm just too focused on this sale today. But before I wrap this up, let me ask you, if you're a TikTok user, go hit me up on TikTok, OTS Movies. Hit me up on Letterboxd. I'm doing a project to see 100 films in cinema this year, in the cinema, and I'm at number 41 or 42 right now, and you can follow that on Letterboxd under Culture Smash. Hit me up on those two platforms, and let's keep this conversation going. Until next we meet, pull something cool off the shelf, share it with friends and family, and remind them why physical media is the best way to watch films and TV at home. I'll see you on the next one.